Hi, my name is Sissy, and I want to welcome you to my show, Getting Healthy with Sis. I am married to my hunky husband, Matt, and together we own a fitness and nutrition coaching studio in Lakeland, Florida called Restoration Fitness and Nutrition. We have 2 little boys, and I've been a nutrition coach for 5 years, helping countless people to revamp their lives and see amazing results implementing one healthy habit at a time. My passion is to help women just like me realize they don't have to be a victim to poor eating habits and poor health. Instead, through proper education and empowerment, they can take control of their health and live the healthiest and happiest life possible. As you tune into my show, I promise you're going to learn new things about your health, you're going to be inspired to take action towards your goals, and you're going to have a ton of fun along the way. Hey there, and welcome to the show. I am so glad that you have chosen to tune in, and I know that you are going to thoroughly enjoy this episode. Today on the show, I am interviewing Kim. Kim has been a member at Restoration for over 3 years now, so she's been with us for quite a while, and she has seen an amazing transformation, and her story is truly inspiring. She's in her upper 50s. She's lost over 60 pounds. And she is just phenomenal. When she came to us, she had tons of chronic pain. It was hard for her to even get up off the floor. And man, she is rocking it. I wish that you could see her today in the gym. She's had many setbacks over the last several years. She's gone through a lot of stuff in her personal life. She's even had to have surgery on her knee. And let me tell you, she gets pushed down, but this woman does not quit. You are going to be so inspired by her story. So let's get started. Welcome to the Getting Healthy with Sis show. I am so glad that you joined me today, and I can't wait to dive in to my special guest, Kim Benson.
Hi.
Kim is, are you from Lakeland?
I'm originally from New York, but I've been in Lakeland.
How did I not know that?
I don't know.
When did you come?
When I was 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you've been
in Lakeland
okay.
a long time.
You went to school at Southeastern University.
Yeah. Graduated from Southeastern, got my master's from USF. Yeah,
Yep.
All my
Married,
children have been born.
Raise your kids here,
Lakeland.
all of those things.
Yep.
So she is here in Lakeland. She's actually the principal at McKeel
Academy.
Technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were at the lower
South
school,
McKeel.
South McKeel, for several years, and now you're at the upper school with the 6th. Is it 6th through
7th through 12?
7th through 12.
Yep.
So she's a principal. She's a boss lady. She gets it done. She knows how to kick butt and take names.
That's right.
I love it because my mom is also a principal, so I see similarities. They're just like these super, they get things done kind of women. So,
absolutely.
But anyways, I wanted to interview and have Kim on the show because she joined us at Restoration. It was 3 years ago in April. Right? Mm-hmm. And she has been such a joy to coach, and the journey that she's walked through over the last 3 years, there is like a gold mine of inspiration and encouragement for young women like me, but also, I can learn from her, but also women that are in her age category, and really anyone. There's so many things that you can learn from Kim, but I wanted to share her story because it's been such a neat thing to see her commit. And, I coach, I've had the pleasure of coaching many different clients from many different walks of life. And a lot of time, in our first meeting when we sit down, I like to hear, okay, what do you want to accomplish? What are your goals? And people have lofty goals for themselves, and they tell me, they're shooting for, shoot for the moon and you'll land upon the stars or whatever. But they're really, they've got these big goals. And I love to hear that, and I love to encourage people towards their goals and help support them along the way to get there. But unfortunately, a lot of times life gets hard, or it doesn't happen as quickly as we would like, and we have a lot of setbacks or things that are just hard, and we don't want to change our habits. And so sometimes it happens that people will just say, this is too hard.
Right.
I'm done.
We're done.
And Kim has not done that. So it's my pleasure to get to interview her today because I know that you're going to get so much out of this conversation. So Kim,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about like where you were in life back. It was 2021, correct? April of 2021. Yeah. Where you were in life and what caused you to be like, okay, no more. Like, I am going to jump all in and like do this for myself with as far as transforming my health and like getting in a different place. What was that? What was going on in life at that point?
So I think that if I can back up a little more, even like my life has been a roller coaster with my weight and health and everything. I've gone from running a marathon to, you know, being obese. Right. And it's been off and on throughout many years of my life. Right. Having 4 children and all of the stress and all of the things. So I feel like at the point that I came to restoration, I had just gone on spring break with our youngest daughter, who we went to Hawaii, just her and I. And I still remember like standing on the sidelines, watching her go surfing and watching her climb cliffs and do all the things. And I was done. I knew that, you know, I don't want to be on the sidelines. I want to be the one who's doing all the activities and feeling good enough to be able to participate in life. So I had found you all, and I think it was a friend of mine who knew you all and had come here and posted some stuff. And so I thought, I'm going to go and see what they're about. Yeah. And so that's when I first came.
Yeah. And at that point, where were you? Like, talk to us a little bit about like what was going on in your physical body. Like, where was your weight? Like, how are you feeling like in your body?
Well, I know I was over 200 pounds.
Right.
And I, things like I could not walk stairs without like holding the rail and like do one stair at a time, you know, kind of thing. My, I had a hip replacement several years ago, and I couldn't lift my leg. To get in my vehicle, I had to physically pick up my leg to put it in the car. Right. Just things like that.
Up and down off the floor.
Could not get up and down off the floor. Yeah. I have 8 grandchildren, so, you know, that requires a lot of floor time if, you know, if you want to play with them. Right. And could not do that. Right. At all. Yeah. Even when I first started working out here, like if I had to get on the floor, I was always like, oh man, now I got to get up. And it's hard, you know? It was hard. Yeah. No, it's not.
But I remember back, you know, I feel like I remember, and you can confirm this, we started seeing like remarkable changes, not only like in your weight. Yes, we were seeing remarkable changes there at a very healthy, but like consistent rate. Right. But I also remember you being like, I can get my leg. Like it was only like 3 or 4 months in that you're like, I can get in my car now.
Yes, absolutely.
And like, we were seeing these non-scale victories that's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And I just want to encourage you, if you're listening to this and you're like, this is me, like, listen, it like might only be like 2 or 3 months away. Right. That you like are not in debilitating pain. Right. Like, absolutely. Not, when you start doing the right things with your nutrition and you start moving and exercising, that's what your body craves. And it starts responding immediately because your body is alive. Like your cells are alive and they are responsive to everything that you're doing or not doing. And when you start doing the right things, I mean, pretty quickly you can start getting, I always love after the first month of doing nutrition coaching with someone, especially if they've been doing the fitness portion as well, like the list of their like victories from that month are like, they're like, this doesn't hurt anymore. I'm sleeping. Yeah. I have better energy. I'm happier. Oh, you know, like it's crazy. It can happen so fast. Yeah. And so I love that. So let's go back to your journey. So you started, we started, you know, we took a habit-based approach. I remember some of the first ones where you were going to, the habits that we were working on where you're going to bring your lunch to school. Right. And simple things like that. You were going to prepare your lunch and bring it with you. So we started, and she was really compliant with like what we agreed on in our meetings. She was like, I've done it. And we would, you know, she would have her check-ins and she's lost 7 pounds or she's lost 5 pounds, you know, and it was happening. And then after about 3 months, she was like, you know what, sissy, I think I'm good. Like, I think I've got a grasp on this. I think I know what I need to do, and I'm good. And so, sometimes if clients say that to me, I'm like, yeah.
Not sure if you're ready.
I don't think that you are, but I can't make the decision for you.
Right.
So, but with her, I was like, I like, she's been really like focused and compliant. Like, I actually feel like she's going to keep going. And so she did. And then you rocked along another 2 or 3 months. And I remember she came to me and she was like, Sissy, like, I've been eating really well, but like, I haven't lost any weight in like a month.
Yeah.
So, right?
Yeah.
So you had like plateaued.
Totally plateaued.
Yeah. And I was like, huh. And so I remember saying, I was like, well, why don't you write down, like, I want you to log your food on paper for like 3 days and write down, like, if you're having like a 4-ounce sirloin, write that down. If you're like, what you're putting in your smoothie, like, and when she gave me her food log, I was like, this is like a really good food log. Like,
yeah,
this is really good food.
Following all the rules.
Yeah. And so, and like, haven't we all been there? Like, have you been there before? Where you're just like, I'm doing all the things I know, and like, what is going on? Like, I have weight to lose and I can't lose it. And so I said, Kim, I know you don't want to hear this, but I think you might need to block your food in an app for just a little bit. And you were like, tell me about that, because you were
super reluctant. Like, one more thing to do. I don't have time. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, she was very reluctant.
Yeah, super reluctant.
Yeah, but I was like, what I'm seeing here, it like looks right, but I don't know where the error is. So I'm going to have to, if you want me to help you, like, we need to log your food just for like a month, and then let's check back in and see what happened. So tell me about that.
Yeah. So I did. I started logging, and then it just became second nature to log.
Yeah.
And
it was easy after a few
I
weeks.
did it for many months.
Yeah.
Like probably a year.
Uh-huh.
I did the logging of my food.
Uh-huh.
So, but then we did find some things.
Well, after the first month, do you remember what happened?
Yes.
Do you?
With the peanut butter?
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell about that.
So I
can tell the story.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so she came back after the first month, and I remember this because it was something that stuck with me, that has like, I think will permanently stick with me. And I've shared it with so many clients through the years, but she came back and she had lost 9 pounds. And I was like, okay. And I was like, Kim, what did you do? And she was like, Sissy, it was my peanut butter. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I have peanut butter every day with my apple before I come to work out. And I thought that I was having 2 tablespoons of peanut butter every day. But when I measured it and actually saw what a tablespoon is, I was probably having 4 or maybe a little more. And she was like, that's literally the only thing I changed. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Crazy.
It was so crazy. Yeah. And it was such like a eye-opening thing for me, even as a coach, because I'm like, wow, like, how many people are in that thing where they're like, I'm doing all the right things. What the heck? Well, let me just tell you, go look on your peanut butter carton in your pantry and see how much.
And you're just eyeballing it, Yeah. So you take a spoon and you just like scoop it out and think, okay, that's about 2 tablespoons, and you're done with it.
Right.
But
it's not. Like, a real tablespoon is less than that. And I don't share this. We're not sharing. Like, I am not the type of coach that's like, you have to weigh and measure everything. And that is like not who I am and not who Kim is.
No.
But there are times where if you are stuck, there are times when getting a little bit more precise about things will help you to see, like, oh, and does Kim measure her peanut butter now? No, because she did it probably for several months, and she knows what 2 tablespoons of peanut butter looks like.
Right.
So, but go into your pantry and get your peanut butter. I want you to see how many calories 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is. So what we figured out was, oh my gosh, you were doing so good, but what happened, you weren't losing weight because your peanut butter brought you out of that deficit. Mm-hmm. It was like a few hundred calories that just pulled you right out. And so let this be a lesson to you today that maybe, hey, am I going to town on some peanut butter? Like, that could literally be the thing.
Yeah, it could be.
So anyways, she started logging, and you did that.
I did it for a long time.
And I remember you, after maybe you had been logging for like 9 months, or where you went on vacation. Do you remember that? You went on to like some Caribbean something?
Yeah.
And tell us about that.
Right. So it was, went to Costa Rica.
Okay.
And I literally, I did not log.
Yeah.
But it's like my body just knew.
Yeah.
It just knew.
What you needed.
Mm-hmm, this, I stuck to mostly proteins, and I still do.
Yeah.
Like, that's like my go-to.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
And I think I lost like 2 pounds on vacation.
And you let yourself have dessert.
I did.
Every day, right?
But I would have a bite or two of it.
Right.
Instead of like the full dessert or whatever. Right. And I didn't feel like I've ever cheated myself of any pleasure food that I wanted.
Right.
It's just the amounts of it, the portion of it.
That's right. That's so good. And so now let's just interrupt for just a quick second. When she started, she had the goal that she wanted to lose 50 pounds. Now, how much weight have you lost at this point? 3 months or 3 years?
65 pounds.
Yes.
Is what I've lost now.
Which is amazing. And let me tell you, that did not happen overnight.
No. And when I first came to Restoration and Sissy said, what is your goal and whatever, and I said, 50 pounds is what I want to lose. She said, okay. And we talked about a lot of things. And then she said, well, it will take you at least a year. I said, oh, no. I need to do this in like 6 months.
Right.
And you're like, no, it's going to take a year. I was like, okay.
Right.
Not what I wanted to hear, but I trusted the process. So, and it literally took me 1 full year.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what that equates to, losing 50 pounds in a year, you're essentially staying committed. You're not staying perfect. You're staying committed, faithful to your nutrition and your exercise, and you're losing like a pound a week, which is actually, despite what you've seen in the grocery store aisles, that's a healthy amount of weight. It's a sustainable amount of weight. When you lose a bunch of weight really fast, your fat in your body, it actually stores toxins. And when you drop a lot of fat really fast, those toxins get released in your body. It's not a healthy thing. I mean, and we can go into, your body burns through muscle as well when you're losing a lot of weight fast, and we don't want to lose that muscle. But so she went at it in a very sustained way, and
just gaining muscle in the process as well.
Yes, gaining muscle, feeling better, feeling stronger, like all of those things. And so it's just been a beautiful journey, but it doesn't stop there. So I had Kim through the years. She's, come to me and said, Sissy, I got new blood work and it is like amazing. And I'm like, well, what is it? And so I had her send me, when she started back. So it was, I think it was your blood work from 2020 or 2021.
It was 2020.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she had high triglycerides, her bad cholesterol was high. Your good cholesterol was too low.
Way
correct?
Low. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, all of what her blood work looked like is blood work that puts you at risk for developing chronic diseases, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, puts you at risk for stroke, high blood pressure, all of those things that are brought on through lifestyle choices that are reversible.
Right.
And so what we've seen in her numbers over the 3 years, again, it did not happen in 6 months.
No.
It has happened through this transformation, but her triglycerides have come down, okay? They were high in 2020, they were at 100, and now they're down to 56. Mm-hmm. Her LDL in 2020 was 234, and now it's down to 199. Mm-hmm. Her HDL in 2020 was 61, and now it's up to 91. So this is the good cholesterol, which you want that.
Right.
That is really good. And so I just wanted to, kind of interject here that in America, 60% of people in America have at least one chronic disease. And 1/3 of people in the U.S. are considered pre-diabetic and don't know it.
Right.
And all of these things, like I want you, if you are hearing this and you're like, this is me, like I have these things. The doctor has told me, like my triglycerides are high or my cholesterol is high. It's not, like, I want you to know that you have the power, just like Kim has done, to transform it. Like you can go in a different direction. It is not, and you don't have to succumb to the statistics of having a chronic disease, being a part of that 60%, or being a part of that 1/3 of our population that is pre-diabetic on the road to diabetes, which is a reversible.
Right.
It's type 2. It's reversible. You can change your lifestyle, and that impacts that diagnosis. So it's just amazing. So, so good. I want to talk now a little bit about your age. How old are you?
59.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, girl.
How much longer are you in your 50s?
Just one more year.
But like,
what do you mean?
Your months. How much longer do you have? Are you got 6 months? You got 2 months?
No. I've got 11 months.
Okay, so you just turned 59.
Just turned 59.
Okay, so we've got 11 months left in the 50s. You've got 8 grandchildren.
8 grandchildren.
Yeah. So if you're hearing this and you're like, hey, that sounds a little bit like me, I want to just take a moment to speak into this kind of demographic in this population, because I actually coach I have a lot of women that come to me or come into restoration that are in this 50s, 60s place, and they're like, I've got too much fat, I'm weak, I don't have muscle, I want to be able to get on the floor and play with my grandkids.
Right.
And, a lot of women that are in this stage of life, like if they're not proactively doing something about their situation, like they are declining. I mean, have you seen that with
absolutely
your age? Like, what have you observed?
So now I feel like I'll look at other women who are my age and I'm like, man, they're old.
Yeah, right.
I'm
right. That's what my mom says too. These people are old.
So
I need to get new friends.
I know, right? So that's just what I do see, and I do see a lot who are just kind of stuck in the rut of being, not strong and not eating healthy and all of that. Right.
Which is so, is so, so important. But I wanted to take a moment to kind of dive into what Kim's, what your lifestyle does look like what you do to make you feel best, like on the activity side and on your nutrition. So tell us a little bit about that as a 59-year-old woman.
Right. So I think it's important, I know I've talked to you about this before, for me to listen to my body.
Yes.
So, doing CrossFit-ish type workouts can be taxing on your body.
Yeah.
So for me, I do like 3 of those workouts a week, sometimes 4, depending on how my body's feeling, but I do pay attention to, how am I feeling this week? I throw in some hot yoga. I throw in some nice walks around the lake, which I did one tonight. Those are the kinds of things. So I try to do something every day, whether it be, a workout here in the gym or a walk or yoga. Sometimes I do yoga and the workout here. So that's what the activity part looks like for me.
And that's what makes you feel good.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. That's awesome.
Nutrition wise, we want to talk about
tell us what you're eating
and what I love,
what it looks like, how much you're eating, all those sorts of things.
So in the mornings, I really try to get a huge boost of protein, and Sissy turned me on to some smoothies that I could do, that really boosted that protein gram intake for my day. So usually I have about 60 grams of protein in the morning.
Great.
So,
that's awesome.
And that's, that's through like a smoothie. Sometimes I'll do eggs instead, and, I'll kind of toss it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I really try to get a huge boost of protein first thing in the morning. And look, I love coffee, so I have my Starbucks coffee too.
Okay. What kind of coffee do you like? What
So I like a shaken espresso.
Okay.
I do like just a couple pumps of the sweetener, instead of the 6 pumps that they usually put in it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not that sweet.
Yeah.
And it's oat milk as well.
Was that a transformation? Like, did you used to have a lot of...
Oh, yeah. I used to do like the caramel macchiato with all the caramel and the sugar and the whole milk and all of that. So, yes. It's
transformed.
Totally.
Okay. So now you enjoy your coffee a little
enjoy my
less
coffee,
sweet.
less sweet. And, but I do that.
That's great.
That's a treat that I do in the mornings too.
Yeah.
Lunch is probably my big meal for me. And it always consists of, some sort of protein. So I'll pre-cook some salmon or some chicken breasts, or sometimes I'll just do a rotisserie chicken from Sam's and divide it into 4 things. And, that will be my lunches for the week.
Right.
With salad or some roasted veggies, that kind of stuff. I love some sweet potato in with that as well. Make a little bowl with it or something like that. But and again, a huge source of protein for my lunch.
Right.
I always have a snack before I come work out. A lot
what do
of
your
times,
snacks look like?
Yeah, sometimes it's my peanut butter and apple. I love that. Sometimes it's like a protein yogurt.
Okay.
And then I found a granola that has high protein in it as well. So I'll put a little of that on and like a half cup of blueberries or something. And I'll eat that like on the way to the gym. Like I always have a snack before I work out.
Good.
After I work out, I do my protein, my Ascent protein.
Good.
And then dinner is sometimes tricky for me because sometimes I'm not really hungry then after I've had the protein after my workout. But I do have protein and some salad or, something lighter for my dinner.
That's great.
So, and then...
tell us the real thing.
I'll tell you the truth.
I love it.
So then
That's great. Listen up.
Listen up. I keep small pints of Ben & Jerry's ice cream in my freezer. Okay.
She said it.
I said it. I did. Different flavors, and they have a lot of great ones. I literally will take out the pint, take a spoon, and I will have like 2 spoonfuls of ice cream.
Yeah.
It satisfies my sweet tooth, because I do love my sweets. And then I put the pint back and I'm good with that. Never, ever have I eaten half a pint or a whole pint. It's really literally 2 spoonfuls.
Yeah.
But that's what works for me.
And that does it.
And it's a treat.
Yeah. So I want you guys to list, like, did she just say, like, I eat just coffee for breakfast, I have a salad with no protein for lunch, I have a boiled egg for dinner? No. Like,
I eat
this
food.
woman eats. She eats real food. And she has been able to lose real fat eating real food. And something that I hear and I see, and as women go through the menopausal change, it is a real thing that your metabolism does downregulate. So a lot of women report that they do not feel as hungry. Some women don't. Some are like, no, I still love food and I eat a lot of it, but a lot of people are like, no, I just have one meal a day and that's all. Please don't make me eat more, but I do want to lose fat and I want to gain muscle. And I'm like, well...
Doesn't work that way.
We're going to have to fuel your body. And so what I want to point out that she just said is she eats, like, she has a smoothie with like 60 grams of protein in the morning. And I'm sure it's got a lot of really great nutrient-dense things in there. It's not some crap thing from the gas station. It's a good, healthy smoothie. And she's eating a good, hearty, healthy lunch with protein and vegetables and healthy carbohydrates. And then she's having a snack. So she's having dinner. She's having a little ice cream. She is not depriving herself to get to her goal. She is fueling herself with good fuel. And that is the sustainable approach. I always say this. I say, listen, the work that has to be done if you want to change your health and change your life, it is not done through you starving yourself. Because guess what? Food is a part of life. And it's always going to be here.
Yes.
For as long as you are on this earth, you are going to have to make decisions around food. it's never going away.
Right.
Ice cream is never going away.
Right.
Like, so we've got to do the deeper work, not to put you on a starvation plan.
Right.
See how long you can do that. But we've got to like actually change the habits, which actually takes some time.
Yeah.
Picture this with me. You're sitting down to make your grocery list for the week, and you're stumped on what healthy items you can add to your list that are going to fuel your body while helping you to reach your fat loss and body composition goals. You want some easy go-to items to stock in your fridge and pantry that you know will increase your health while decreasing your waistline. Well, I have the solution for you. I have created 3, that's right, I said it, 3 amazing shopping guides for Aldi, Sam's Club, and Costco. So if you're someone who frequents these grocery stores, you can download these lists for free, and I promise they'll guide your shopping experience in a spectacular way. So if you're ready to download these lists now, you can go to gettinghealthywithsis.restorationfitnesslkld.com. I'll say it again so you can write it down. That's gettinghealthywithsis.restorationfitnesslkld.com. So we've kind of we've discovered you're not eating like a bird.
No.
Okay. I have heard you say a lot, like, my protein. And just from kind of walking alongside of you, I know like one of your personal goals is to gain muscle. I mean, you've told me
absolutely.
Like, I want to gain muscle.
Yeah.
And so we've talked about like, okay, your protein has to be here. You've got to be pushing yourself with weights.
Yep.
Like, and you are. I mean, I think our last InBody scan we saw, what was it? It was like 3 pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of muscles. Yeah. And
3 pounds of muscles.
Yeah. Muscles. 3 pounds. Yesterday when I was in a workout and
over 3 months.
That was over 3 months.
Okay.
And Ashlyn was coaching and she said, we were talking about you this weekend. I said, you were? Her and another former coach from here. I said, what did you say? She said, I was just saying how I was doing 35-pound dumbbells, and I looked over and there was Kim doing 35-pound dumbbells, and she's way younger than me.
Yeah, she's like 20
and she's like, you're such a beast. I'm like, yes, I am.
Yes. See?
So yeah,
that's
fun.
So good,
Yeah.
so good. And I'm just gonna kind of do a little blurb interruption here of why it's so important. Like, as you are aging, like your stage of life, that you have got to be doing something to preserve and gain muscle tissue, because what happens as we get older is that the hormonal changes that we go through, like our body is actually losing muscle.
Right.
We will lose, when we hit the age of 30, you are going to lose 5 pounds of lean mass per decade if you are not doing something proactive about it. So if you take the age from 30 to 70, that's a 40-year gap, okay? So we've lost 20 pounds of lean muscle tissue by the time we get to 70, and it's like, well, no wonder.
Sure.
The metabolism is shot. You're not hungry. You don't want to eat. You're frail. You hurt. You can't get off the floor. You're weak. You fall. You break a hip. Like, all of those things are a byproduct of losing that muscle. And so as we age, and muscle, doctors are saying now, and the research is saying now, that muscle tissue is your organ of longevity. So the more of it that you have and the healthier that it is, they are correlating it and linking it to longevity. And so that, I mean, like, you aging well and living longer they're like, yep, when someone's got muscle and is healthy and is strong and they got enough of it, those people live longer and they age in a more healthy state.
Right.
With less disease, they're not sick, they're not in the hospital as much. I mean, it's so
no medication.
That's right. Come on. Come on. I love it. So it's so important. If you're listening to this and you're like, yeah, that's me, like, I want to encourage you. You've got to start focusing on your protein, and you've got to start lifting weights and doing weight-bearing exercises. You know, even the high intensity, when you're, say doing high knees or something like that, those quick movements, that is helping you to build bone density. It's strengthening your bones, which is so important as you age. So I love getting to hear about what she's doing, how much she's eating, and still, losing and gaining strength, just aging in a really healthy way. It's awesome. So, so Kim, you've been with us for 3 years, and has it been like, talk to us a little bit about like the setbacks and the roadblocks you've had that in your personal life that could have easily derailed you. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So there've been a few. I had an injury, which was a torn meniscus. That set me back for a while.
Which
I had to have surgery.
You had to have surgery.
Right.
And you actually gained.
I did gain some weight during that time of recovery and not being able to be active and all of that. So yes.
But did she get it off?
Yes, I did.
Oh, she did.
And more.
Yeah.
And more.
Yep.
So yeah, that was, that was a struggle. And that's one thing that I said, listening to my body, because I feel like I was pushing maybe a little too hard.
Yeah.
And then, I had an injury.
Okay.
So that was one thing.
Okay.
Another thing personally that I've gone through for a lot of years was living with an alcoholic husband and having all the stress that comes with that. Going through a divorce over this past year after many years of struggling.
Right.
And going into having anxiety attacks, and like I'd never experienced that before. Over the summer I started having those, going to therapy and all of that, but staying consistent in the gym and with my physical activity. My therapist thought, you need to get on some medications for your anxiety, for your anxiety attacks, for all of that. And I was real adamant about, I don't want to do that. I'm not saying that it's not what's needed in some cases for some people, but for me, I didn't want to do that. So knowing at that time, and this was over with this past summer, that I was
like 9
really,
months ago.
that I was really struggling with the divorce and the whole situation, is when I then started adding long walks into my routine.
So good.
Every day of the summer, I would go down to the lake around sunset time, when it was peaceful, and I would walk the lake.
Right. Yeah. So good.
And that, plus staying active in the gym, all of that, I feel like was a huge part of what got me through all the stress and all the emotional turmoil that my life was in.
Right.
Could have been so different had I just said, look, things are so messed up now for me that I'm just going to sit at home by myself and not do anything.
Yeah.
And, just working through, and, you and I have talked many times throughout the whole process. Matt and I have talked many times throughout the whole process of, the importance of having community and coming to a place where my head is getting cleared, my endorphins are getting, worked out.
Yeah.
And
extra mood.
Yeah, totally. So those are some of my personal struggles that I've been dealing with over the last several years.
Yeah.
Both physical, mental, emotional, all of those things.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw her go through, well, I think when you started with us, things were not.
No, they weren't good.
I remember there was a few times like you were crying and you're just like, I'm sorry. It's just really hard right now at home. And but, you were going through that, and then you had the setback with your knee, which a lot of times, when we go through stuff like that, it's so discouraging, and we're like, great, I'm going to lose all this ground that I've won. And, a lot of people at that point would throw the towel in, and then going, being married for 37 years, having 4 children together. Those children are now grown, and that coming to an end, like, again, we've seen it a lot. Like, this is my chance to say, I can't do this anymore, and I'm going to go sulk and have a pity party. But I loved how you said, like, this is so so important of being a resilient person, and a person who is like, you know what, life sucks right now and it's really hard, but like, I am going to find strength to do what I know is good for me. And like going for the walks. I mean, come on, like being outside and fresh air and seeing the sun and seeing the nature, like that. I mean, that helps to your body to get into that restful state and not the stress state, And so like doing things like, let that be an encouragement to you. Like if you're struggling, like you actually like go work out. Absolutely. Go outside. Right. Get out of your house.
And I look at it like there's so many things in life that we have no control over. Right. The outside things we have no control over. But what could I control?
That's right.
I could control what I chose to do with my time and, how I chose to move my body and how I chose to eat. Those are things that I can control.
That's right. Yes, so good. I remember I went through a phase where I was having a lot of anxiety, and that was, I kind of was like, okay, look, we're not doing this. Right. We're not. Right. You are going to get yourself to, and you are going to stop eating sugar because that's messing with your, you're going to go outside. You're going to be taking omega-3s to help your brain. Sure. And be proactive. Yes. Like, and those things, like doing those lifestyle things really helped me. And I can see that it's helped you. And like, this so good. Well, okay. As we are finishing up, I want to hear, we've heard a ton of bright spots, but are there any things that we haven't hit on that you're like, this is how my life has changed, or these are the things that I can do now, like the most important things to you that are representative of this journey for you?
So even just last night, I was taking care of my 2 little grandchildren. So getting down, giving them baths, playing on the floor with them, doing all the things, and they're really heavy. So I'm picking them up, it's kind of like a workout in and of itself. But being able to do all of that and like not hurting, I can keep up with them, and that means a lot to me. Yeah. Other, like, we call them non-scale victories are like, okay, cute clothes. Yeah. Okay. I like cute clothes. Right. Right. And now I feel like I can go buy cute clothes and
you look
that's
cute in them.
Right. Yeah. And I look cute in them. So that's fun. There's just so many, like, I'm happy. I'm joyful. I feel like I can do this. I have a long life ahead of me, and I'm looking forward to the next chapter for me, and whatever that may bring.
That's awesome. It's so good. Well, I really, it's an honor to get to have you on, and I know that there are so many people listening that are like, man, I gotta get my stuff together. So, like, come on, and I love it because Kim, there's nothing like special about her. She, she just put the work in and she stayed committed and consistent, even when things could have totally derailed her. And, she's in a really, really great place. And I'm confident that, if you can have like Ben and Jerry's in your house and just have to, that's there's right. There's something that has happened there with your habits. Yeah. That is.
Well, and I told you, I do not log my food anymore or anything. Yeah. I just know.
Yeah. She listens to
one of those things that I know now.
And that's one of the, that's a good point in itself, that like logging your food, that is sometimes it's an informational piece and a learning piece. But that's not the goal, is that you have to log your food. No one wants to do that. But now she's like, I know. She tells me, she's like, I crave protein. I need it. I want it. My body wants it. And she's not on a carnivore diet, but she's prioritizing that. And that, I am telling you, that is a huge reason why she has been able to have the scale success. Yeah. The fat loss, the muscle gain, that is a huge reason why. And the protein is so, so important. So if you are listening today and you're thinking, gosh, I need to get my act together, I need some help, I need to have this story that Kim had, I want to encourage you to go to our website at www.restorationfitnesslkld.com. You can click the button that says book a free intro. We would love to sit down with you. If you're listening to this and you're out of this city or out of this state and you would still like to have a consultation and talk about how we can help you virtually, still click that button and we will connect with you. So if you're looking for nutrition coaching like Kim has gone through and the group fitness, we offer that. We also offer personal training. So it's a full package. We're going to come alongside you and help you get to where you need to get. So thank you so much for being here and for being just an encouragement to us all. You encourage and inspire me. So thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
All right.